Topping today's news, the PLP celebrates 3 years since its landslide election victory. The COI launches its first group of candidates for the 2026 elections. A man shot dead Sunday during a drive-by in Pinewood Gardens, and 2 young females attempt suicide on the weekend. Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Jarino Saunders. This is your JCN Evening News. It is a pleasure to have you join us. Today, the 16th of September, marks the 3rd year anniversary since the Davis administration has been in power after a landslide victory over the Free National Movement in 2021 during the general elections, winning 32 of the 39 seats. The Progressive Liberal Party marked the occasion with a church service at the Church of God of Prophecy on East Street, where Prime Minister Philip Davis spoke of the advancements they have made on behalf of the Bahamian people.
We pulled the country back from the fiscal brink. We revitalized tourism, creating new jobs, partnerships, and investments. We gained respect and standing on the global stage, promoted our country, stood up for the fair climate finance, worked to get our country off the blacklist, brought major sporting events to the Bahamas, and strengthened our partnerships to protect our borders. We are determined to solve problems that for decades have been treated as unsolvable. We are determined to end the band-aid approach, the patching up, the covering up, and the giving up. When you take the aspirations of your people seriously, you treat apathy and passion as sins, because the only way to change lives is to change the status quo.
Party Chairman Fred Mitchell spoke of the legacy of the Progressive Liberal Party and the many social and national security programs the party has established, like national insurance, universal health care, free education, and the Royal Bahamas Defense Force. The sermon was delivered by Dr. Woodley Thompson, the National Bishop of the Church of God of Prophecy. Well, the official opposition, Free National Movement, not impressed by the PLP's efforts. The party's deputy chairman and former member of parliament for Baines and Grantstown, Travis Robinson, says the Davis administration is failing Bahamians. In a voice message, Mr. Robinson gave his input on the 3-year run for the Progressive Liberal Party and said the following.
For the last 3 years, under this failed Davis-led PLP administration, the misery index, costs of living, medication, food, rent, and even taxes have skyrocketed for tens of thousands of Bahamians. That's the reality.
Robinson also alluded to the PLP government being unfair by giving special treatment to some Bahamians while failing others.
This administration has failed the average Bahamian miserably. And if in 3 years' point, this is their blueprint for change, then we ought to stop construction immediately. But we know that they probably won't do that, because all their friends and family and lovers have all the sweet, baked, juicy contracts. And that's what this government has been all about, dangling contracts over the heads of their supporters and donors, rolling out the red carpet for their lovers, friends, and family, flying private and first class every chance they get. And guess what? At the expense of the Bahamian people.
Looking to the 2026 general elections, Robinson says Bahamians must know that all is not lost and there is still hope and help on the way. On Sunday, the Coalition of Independents unveiled its first 19 candidates that will contest the 2026 general elections. The COI is the first out the gate, as the PLP and the FNM are just now vetting potential candidates and conducting mandatory training classes for those potential candidates. COI leader Lincoln Baines said their candidates are not career politicians, but instead highly qualified professionals. The ratified candidates include accountants, lawyers, teachers, computer scientists, former police officers, doctors, building contractors, and successful entrepreneurs. They include Daniel Mitchell for Pine Ridge, Olivia Ingram Griffin, she'll run in Freetown, Dexter Edwards, East Grand Bahama, Yvette Prince, Yamacraw, Graham Weatherford, St. Anne's, Faith Presenti will run in Anglerston, Trevor Green, South Andros, Linda Stubbs, Mount Moriah, William Knowles, Seabreeze, Maria Daxon, Bamboo Town, Charlotte Green, Carmichael Road, Carmichael constituency, Tyrone Green, Marathon, Daphne Johnson, Fort Charlotte, Harold Roberts, Marco City, Donna Major Elizabeth, and we'll have Antonio Bain, he'll run in Bain and Grantstown, along with Charmaine Adderley for Golden Gates, Dr. Veronica McIver Killarney and Mr. Bain, the party leader himself, will again run in the Pinewood constituency. The COI leader says the candidates share a common goal, which is to restore integrity, accountability, and transparency to governance here in the country. And finally, in this segment, police are still on the hunt looking for two men they believe are responsible for a fatal shooting incident that claimed the life of a 29-year-old male on Sunday around 8 p.m. in the Pinewood Gardens community. Police say when they arrived on the scene at a residence on Sequoia Street, they discovered an unresponsive male in the driveway suffering from multiple gunshot wounds to his body. Emergency medical services personnel determined the victim was lifeless. It is reported that the occupants of a black Kia Sportage approached the victim as he stood outside the residence and opened fire on him, shooting him multiple times before fleeing. Later, patrolling officers recovered a black Kia Sportage on Lady Slipper Avenue off Soldier Road, which was reportedly abandoned by two males. The mentioned vehicle was reportedly stolen on Saturday from Sutherland Road in Stapleton Gardens area. It is suspected to have been used during the commission of this most recent homicide, now the 87th murder on record for the year. You're listening to JCN News. We'll take a break here. We'll be right back after these commercials.